This week on The Chef's Cut, we are talking about no resolutions, but goals for 2026. I want a TV show. I want to host a show. We're going to try the viral Phyllo cake that 4.8 million people are talking about. Look at the cross section. And Joe and I have a bone to pick with the Michelin Guide. I'm like, are they racist or are they cuisinist? We are back, baby. Joe, what's up? Happy holidays. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy holidays. We're so back. I missed it so much.
I did too. I really miss like getting together to talk about all the things.
I know. I was getting everything set up today. I was getting excited. I was like, all right, here we go. Back into the lab, if you will.
Yes, right? This is so exciting. And it is a whole new year. It's 2026. And we left a lot on the table at the end of 2025. But for this year, Joe, are you a resolution person?
So I'm not like a resolution person. Like this year, I'm gonna stop whatever. But I am a goal person. Me and my chefs, we sit around and we set a goal. We set one personal, one professional, and then one we call it a team goal. So I'm big into that. I like setting goals, and I like being able to look back at them and be like, all right, you know, like, what did we accomplish last year?
Yeah, especially when you put it on record, like you're accountable for it. And especially the people around you will be holding you accountable too.
Mm-hmm. Because I remember, you know, it was the year after I took over Boulevard and it got to my goals. They said, what are you going to do? And I said, I'm going to sign a lease this year.
Mm.
And I remember, like, you know, Taquan sitting there and his eyes got like this big. He's like, yeah, well, what? I was like, I'm going to sign a lease this year and we're going to, you know, we're going to open another restaurant.
Wow. Was that for 𝗁𝗏𝗀𝗶𝗄?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
And then it was like, you know, being able to sit them there with them the next year. And they were like, you said it. And I was like, you know, it's cool to like, you know,
awesome.
accomplish goals together. How about you? You got a resolution, some goals?
I don't do resolutions. They don't work for me, even when I set them for myself.
Yeah.
So I like goals. That seems like something that I think I could get with.
All right. So then how about this year? We get you on the on the goal train.
I like this.
You know,
resolutions.
Let's not restrict ourselves. Right. We're attacking this year.
I like it. Let's go.
We are wild tigers running through the jungle, attacking 2026. All right. So my two goals I want from you for the year, H. I'll give you mine as well. But I think one would be something professional.
Okay.
For yourself. That's got to be cooking related, not just like, oh, you know, I want to be a New York Times bestseller again. You know, like I don't want to hear it. But like something cooking related.
Okay.
I guess if it's a cookbook, that counts too. But
yeah,
I'll give you that one. And one travel related. I want to know where you want to go this year. Let's go domestic though. I think we can get into abroad, but I would like to say specifically, you and I have both traveled quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But give me a spot. Doesn't have to be continental U.S., but U.S.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That you're like, this year, I've never been to this place.
Huh.
I really want to go.
I like that. Okay. I think I have a place in mind, but let's start with professional. Professionally, and this is going to sound weird because this is something I never thought I would be doing in my career in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
I want a TV show. I want to host a show.
Oh.
I want to be the host of a show.
Like what
kind of show?
Like cooking competition show or like
I don't know. It could be
Adrienne's Adventures.
I mean,
come along with me as we tour rural Arkansas and hog hunt.
Oh my God, I would love that. But
that'd be the shit.
I want it to be either cooking related where I'm cooking on camera with people, you know, some kind of format like that, or digging into the stories of the people who create food and the people in hospitality, because there's so many awesome people doing really cool stuff all around the country, all around the world. So I want it to be either about the people who create the food and the food that they're making or cooking in the studio kind of thing.
I don't think I'm going to challenge you on that. I think
everything is competition. I feel like
everything is competition, but I think that's kind of like where your career is just kind of gone, right?
And it's so weird because I never thought I would be doing.
You do a lot of judging, you know what I mean? You know, you wrote the book, you have the pop-up series, like you do all these things. You know, I think it's it's a natural progression of like
Oh.
of a want, and you know what I mean, something that makes sense for you.
As a younger chef, it's one of those things that like you felt like you would never say that out loud. You know, it's like
Oh, I mean, when
real
we were
chefs
coming
don't.
up,
Yeah, it
when
was
we
a
were coming
totally
up,
different.
it was like if somebody was like, "You're a TV chef," it was like,
Oh, you're not a real chef.
I'd rather you call me anything. You know, it's like, oh, what do you want to be on TV?
Right, right,
It's like, no, I would never go on TV. No, I'm
right.
I'm a real chef.
I'm a
I'm a real
restaurant
chef.
chef.
Yeah, I'm a restaurant chef.
Look at these
We work at
birds.
yeah, yeah. Look at these birds. Look at my knife. It's Japanese. It has a dragon on it. I have a dragon on my knife. I'm not a silly TV
Right.
chef.
Yeah, so it's something that I've grown and I've evolved, and I'm doing stuff in my career that I never saw myself doing. One of them is television, because I also thought I would be in a kitchen my entire career, and
Mhm.
things have changed, like you said. So I'm really excited about it, and I actually like doing it more than I didn't know how much fun it was. It's pretty fucking awesome. You get to meet
Yeah,
really cool people and learn about new food and go new places. It's really fun. I love
yeah.
it.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, so give me the other one. Where are we going?
Okay, travel wise, I would love to go, a place that I've never really spent much time. And this is going to sound
Mhm.
weird because I've been there. I was actually there with you,
Oh,
Colorado.
have you never been to Colorado besides for our season?
Besides Top Chef, I may have, like, I've flown through the Denver airport. I've been to Aspen for food and wine, but I have never, like, just experienced going to Colorado to try restaurants, try the food, like the whole Four Corners cuisine. It's
Yeah.
like it's Southwest, but it's
Oh,
different. Like, I've actually never been there.
it's one of my favorite places. It was one of my favorite places long before Top Chef. I love it. I think it's unbelievably beautiful. There is really good food there. There's really great chefs out there. The mountain towns are incredible. They're cool. They have character. They're fun. It's just such an interesting place to me. I think, especially being from the Midwest. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
where it's like, you go from Chicago to New York, you're like, this place makes sense, right? It's like just a more augmented version of what we
It's a
knew.
denser, it's just the same city, just denser.
Right. And then you go to like LA or San Francisco and you're like, okay, this is just like water or more condensed or more spread out, or you know what I mean? Like whatever.
Mhm.
But like you go and like I feel like when you land in Colorado and like you're in the mountains, you're like, this is different. This is completely different. Like this
Yeah.
is wild.
I've been hearing really good things about the food, and I've always wanted to just like that scenery, that like just vast landscape, the greenery, the mountains and the hills. Like,
Yeah.
that's something that I don't really see very often. So that's the place that I want to go. But what about you? What is a professional and a domestic travel goal for you?
So my professional goal, this has been one that I've had in the back of my head kind of for years, and I haven't had kind of the time or energy to really like pull it off. But I've been like obsessed with this idea of starting like in industry, like book club,
Mm.
like where I want to have like a book club for like cooks, chefs, and where it's like once a month we like meet and have coffee and we like talk about a cookbook we all read.
Oh, I love that.
And like maybe
But that
somebody
kind of
cooks
limits
something
it to
from it.
Chicago.
No, it does limit it to Chicago. It would be a very local thing, but I think it'd be a cool
Okay.
thing to connect where it's like you don't have to be the chef of a restaurant. You could just be a cook who wants to come and is reading the book that we're reading. And like you just sit around and like drink coffee and talk about, like especially like old cookbooks. Like it's just something I always thought would be a
Oh,
really cool idea. And I'd like to do that at least once this year, where I'd like to be
that's
able
really
to like
cool.
sit down and like talk about cookbooks with like, and it doesn't matter. Like it'd be cool if like I didn't know like some of the people, like they just showed up and they were like, oh, I want to do this.
Yeah, yeah. That would make it so much more interesting. And I know some people have like cookbook book clubs, which is cool because then they get together, they do potluck style, like cook different things from it. But I think it's like if you want to cook something cool, but the thought about like getting together with a group of people and talking about the book
Right. And
and
like really
the
going in,
inspiration and the stories.
right, like in depth to it a little bit more, talking about the chef, like why this person's important, why this restaurant was important, like
Right.
talking about the time and the place of it, of like, oh, look at this dish. Like it looks crazy now, but can you imagine seeing this dish in 1993? Like what
Right,
people's
right.
reaction would have been, like stuff like that. I don't know. It's been an idea I've had a long time, but that's like professionally for me, and it's like it's a little one. It's not some big grandiose. You know, I've basically opened a restaurant every year for the past 4 years.
I'm like, well, yeah, you've done 4 restaurants in a very condensed timeline. You've built a great restaurant group and a great team. I don't think that professionally, if you wanted to open another restaurant this year, I would tell you to chill out. I would be
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
Joe, just have a seat.
I don't think I'm gonna like. I think I'm chilling.
I hope so, unless it's a license deal and you don't have to operate it. Cool, but I think 4 in 4 years is pretty good. But I
mean,
love the book club
do you
thing.
think I'm gonna have something and not be in charge, Adrienne?
Absolutely not.
How long have you known me?
But at some point, you're going to get there where you can't be everywhere, Joseph. It's something you're going to have to come to terms with at some point in your vastly growing career. Just
I
saying.
don't know. I've been really good at not coming to terms with things my whole life. So, you know, new year, not new me.
Same Joe, new year.
Yep.
So what is a travel goal? Because I know you go to a ton of places domestically and abroad. So what's a place that you actually haven't been to that you want to?
So I would say the number one, like domestic one that has been on my bucket list my whole life is Alaska.
Oh,
like I have always been obsessed with Alaska. I love all those like Discovery Channel Alaska shows.
Yes.
Like I just am wildly fascinated with it. I have a good buddy up in Juneau, Bo Schuler, who's got 𝗍𝗶𝗶𝗵𝗲𝗀𝗏 up there. And he's always like, come up. And he texted me the other day. He's like, we're going to get a really good snow season. He's like, you should come up and like get some turns in like in February or March. And I'm like, I should. Like it'd be awesome to go cook up there too. Like I have no idea what that would be. Like it's just
Cooking
to me,
elk
it's like
and bear.
And it's like, with our season with Laura, talking to her about Alaska and how, different it was. It just, to me, it just seems like one of those like places that's still like wild. Like it's still a frontier. Like it's still, you know what I mean? People are like, so, I mean, Alaska for me is number one.
That's really cool. Like, I tried to get my family to do an Alaskan cruise one year so I could see the glaciers and the coastline. I had no takers. They were like, little girl, we're going to Aruba. Like, get out of my face.
Yeah, no, I can't. That's a hard sell. I'm like, hey, you guys want to go? Like, selling people from Chicago on a cold vacation is tough.
No takers. I got shut down so hard on that. But that is a really cool place that you're right. It still seems really untouched for the amount of land. And I would love to see your pictures from there.
You're not coming?
Nah, I don't know about that.
Come on. It'll be fun.
Joe, we started something last year, right at the end of 2025, that our Chef's Cut Nation really liked. And it was changing up the format of our Fork It or Forget It. Do you remember we did a little show and tell?
We did, yes. I remember you made the goldfish cracker.
Oh, the marshmallow treat, yeah. Yeah, that was not my favorite, but I'm glad I did it because you see things all the time and you don't know if they're actually going to be good, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Well, I made something today.
Oh, yes. I love a show and tell.
This is so exciting. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few hints to guess what it is. Now, I saw this video for a long time. I'm not going to lie. It's not something new, but the video is like, I don't know, 4.8 million views, right? So this is like wildfire.
Yeah.
It smells really good, by the way. This thing blew up like crazy. It's one of those viral recipes, and I was really curious to see if it was going to be good or not because I had made one of the versions that I saw of it, and it was not good. So I went to the original video, and I was like, I have to go to the source.
Yeah.
I have to go to the source and try it. Okay, so I'm going to give you some hints. It's baked in an oven.
Oh, that narrows it down.
I mean, it's not seared in a pan, okay?
Yeah, it's not baked in the earth, so you're not making 𝗁𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗃 or barbacoa.
Right, or get Carrie from our season of Top Chef.
The park across the street from your place.
Right, or get Carrie from our season of Top Chef to dig an oven in the snow.
No, you should have.
So, okay, it's crunchy and moist at the same time.
You're giving like the worst hints. You're like, it's food. It goes in your mouth.
It's edible. Okay. The main ingredient is a key component that you would find in baklava or spinach pie.
Like phyllo dough?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Okay. See, I had to give you a couple vague hints before we got to the one that would give it away. Okay.
Did you make burek?
No, I didn't have that kind of time on my hands. I had to do lunch and dinner
if you would have made
yesterday.
a burek, I would have been very impressed.
I would have been impressed. That is not something I'm spending too much time on. But what I made is that viral crinkle phyllo cake.
Oh.
And yes, there is a piece missing because I had some this morning.
That does look pretty good.
Okay.
So it's like, I mean, first glance, it's sideways as opposed to stacked as a traditional phyllo.
Right.
So is that like the big deal with it? Is like you're doing it sideways? Like,
yeah. So you kind of fold the phyllo up like you would, like, a paper fan, how it goes back and forth.
Yeah.
And then you scrunch them up into a pan. Now, the Goldfish Rice Krispie treats, they got me. I did a full recipe. For this, I did a half recipe because I wasn't sure and I didn't want to fully commit like last time.
So what else is in there besides phyllo dough?
So you toast the phyllo in the pan first. You melt for this.
Like dry?
You melt it. You toast it in the oven dry, crinkled up. So it gets a little brown, but it kind of dries out the bottom layer also. Okay. Not super toasty or brown just yet because you take it in and out of the oven like 3 times. But you melt a stick of butter first and you pour the stick of butter over the phyllo. Put it back in the oven for another 10 minutes.
Okay.
It kind of gets the phyllo fatty, crunchy, crispy on the top and bottom by then.
Yeah, because usually you like, in my experience dealing with phyllo, is like it's usually like phyllo brushing butter and then you're like almost like you're doing like a lamination. Exactly.
So this, instead of brushing every single layer of phyllo dough, you're crinkling it up and then pouring the butter over. So, I could see it going either way. If you brush them, then crinkle them, that, but it is more labor intensive.
But like this is the whole point is you're supposed to pour the butter over because it's easier, right?
Exactly. Yep. Okay. And then you make a custard that is about, for a full recipe, I want to say it's like a cup of milk, 2 eggs, cup of sugar, and some vanilla.
Raw dog custard?
Yeah. You whisk it in a bowl, completely raw. You don't cook the eggs or anything first or, temper. You just mix the custard in a bowl, pour it over said phyllo.
So you're making a phyllo frittata.
Yeah, it's like a phyllo casserole, essentially. A sweet phyllo casserole, if you will. And then you pop it in the oven and bake it for like 30 to 40 more minutes. Then you take it out and you go baklava style where you pour a hot syrup over it after it's cooled.
What kind of syrup did you pour over it?
It's like a simple syrup, but just less water. So usually simple syrup is 1 part water, 1 part sugar, or equal parts. This is 1 part sugar to half part water. So it's a thicker syrup. Is there anything in it?
A little vanilla, rose water, perhaps?
The viral recipe was just the basic syrup. But, okay, so because I did a half recipe, I still had a half pack of phyllo left. So I did make a second one where I put orange zest and bay leaf into the syrup.
Is that 2 bay leaves for 1 pan?
It's just infused in the syrup. So,
I'm just
not
saying,
a big deal.
That's 2 bay leaves.
And 2 peels of orange zest, right?
My grandmother would think you were a Rockefeller. It's 2 bay leaves for one recipe.
They are fresh bay leaves, so they're not as strong as dry.
Yeah, true.
So I had to use 2 because you're not going to get the same. It's a different aroma from dry. Like I love fresh bay leaves. My mother-in-law has a bay leaf tree outside of her house.
Where does she live?
New Orleans.
Oh, wow. Okay, that makes sense.
I steal leaves every time I'm over there. It's actually her neighbor's tree, so don't tell her neighbor.
Give me some.
But I tried it this morning, so it smells really good because, maybe I added a little more vanilla than the recipe called for. I didn't measure it. I just poured it.
No one measures vanilla.
Yeah, right?
Who measures
You measure on vibes.
Right, dude. Vanilla is a vibe. It is not a measurable ingredient.
Right.
You just like put it into, you're like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, looks good.
That's how you measure vanilla. You go, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, pretty much. So I had a little piece this morning, but look at this side. Like, look at the cross section.
See, you know what I don't like about it?
What? What are you going to hate on right now?
That like cooked egg in there looks so casserole-y. It looks so like cafeteria egg bake in the
Oh,
morning.
you are just so anti. Oh, shut up. This is gorgeous. Look at the waves in that. That does
Dude,
not
the waves of the phyllo, the waves of the phyllo
If
look
it-
great. But then it's like that really cooked egg in the middle is like, I don't know.
No, you're wrong. You're totally wrong because it just kind of soaked in.
I don't know. It looks like you got some scrambled eggs folded in there.
Absolutely not. I don't even see that look. Maybe my camera's not good, but it is fucking delicious.
Is it?
Uh-huh. Most recipes, I usually stay away from like viral recipes because most of them are actually quite awful.
Yeah.
You know, most of them kind of suck. This shit is so good.
Your cooked egg casserole phyllo.
Oh, shut up. Just because it didn't get tempered in a pot.
I'm not worried about it
getting
getting tempered. It's just like cooking
You're such
eggs.
a snob, Joe.
Cooking eggs hard into like a breakfast. It's a breakfast casserole. Like you made a breakfast casserole.
And I'm okay with that.
Okay, I'm just saying.
That.
I just want to call it what it is. Just say you made a breakfast casserole.
This thing is bringing me so much joy right now.
It's like
so
you're going to
you're
going to brunch at like your friend's house for a potluck, and you're like, "Oh, I made this phyllo dough breakfast casserole," and they're like, "Oh my god, Adrienne, you make the best stuff." You should be a chef.
Oh my god, I'm going to quit my job and go to culinary school. It is definitely giving those vibes. I am not going to lie. 100%. I'm not arguing with you there. Call me what you want. I like it. It is a little bit sweet. So if I make it again, which I might, if I host family for the holidays next year, like we did this year, we had like 6-7 people from New Orleans. I'm making this. I'm making this, but I would cut back the sugar.
You ain't making that for your in-laws.
Yeah, I would.
All right, I'll try it. I'm not saying I'm gonna fork it, but I'll say I'll try it. I will give you the benefit of the doubt as my friend, as
Have
my
I ever
confidant.
steered you wrong before?
1,000 times, but for some reason I still trust you.
Thank you.
I will still follow you into the fires. All right.
I appreciate that.
So that's a fork it for you then. You're all over this casserole. There's some other stuff we got to get into today.
Yeah.
Because end of year, one big thing we never got a chance to talk about is something you and I have both dealt with in our careers. The Michelin Guide came out for US.
Yes.
And in Chicago, it was a huge to-do because the big news out of Chicago was Alinea going from 3 to 2.
Right.
But the big one that happened this year is 𝗂𝗏𝗃 went from 1 to 2.
Yes.
And became a 2-star.
That's huge.
That's huge. That was wild. I think that was, less surprising though than Alinea going to 3 to 2 was, unbelievable. The news came out before the stars came out. Like the news broke early. Like Grant Achatz announced it.
And you know what I immediately thought about was remember our interview with 𝗏𝗏𝗄𝗏 and how her review of Alinea was not that favorable. And then the Michelin re-review came out where they lost a star. And at first, I think people who were kind of talking shit about 𝗏𝗏𝗄𝗏's review, maybe at that point it was like, if I were her, I'm sure she was just sitting there like, what do you have to say now?
Yeah, and it's one of those things, it's kind of like to go back to the 𝗏𝗏𝗄𝗏 thing, it's like the idea of like, and it's weird, right? Because like if you think about it, it's like 𝗂𝗏𝗃 got 2 stars, Alinea got 2 stars. 2 stars is incredible. It's rarefied air. However, the vibes in those 2 places of both of them going to 2 stars, I can't imagine more polar opposites.
Yeah. 2 totally different types. It's not even the cuisine. It's not that one is Filipino and the other is like more Eurocentric kind of ingredients. They're just totally different atmospheres, totally different styles of restaurants.
But I'm saying of both achieving something. And at one place it seemed like, at 99.9% of the restaurants in the world, if you got 2 Michelin stars, you would be like, this is the greatest day of our life.
Yeah.
The only point, 1% is the place where you already had 3. And it's and it's not unprecedented. You know what I mean? We saw it happen in New York years ago with Danielle and I think John George, right? They went from 3 to 2.
I know Danielle did.
And I think Ducasse back in the day went from 3 to 2.
And at the time, Danielle had also lost a New York Times star. So
Yeah.
it's interesting how those things tracked between there and Alinea.
So it's not wildly unprecedented in Michelin.
Right.
But, you know, so I think it's like, I think we got to get into Michelin a little bit today, because I think it's a lot of cloak and dagger, right?
Right.
And even, you know, it's both of us who we worked in Michelin kitchens. And even before I got into that, there's always like murmurs of it. Because for people who don't know, right, it's that it's not like, you know, the reviewers, you kind of know who they are, right? As much as they try to hide, people figure it out. But Michelin, you genuinely have no idea.
Yeah.
You have no idea. There was always the rumors, right? Like the one I always heard, like back in the day, and I don't know what the rumors were in New York, but in Chicago, they always were like, solo diner. Anytime there was a solo diner, look, it's the guy.
Yep,
it's the guy.
It's the guy.
Like, I still make that joke to this day. Like I still think it's
solo
funny.
Diner
like,
VIP.
Right. You know what I mean? It's like when we first opened Bartuto, someone came in the cafe and they like sat down by themselves and ordered like an egg sandwich. I was like, it's the guide. It's the guide. It's Michelin. They're here. They're here to give me my star for best.
Right. And that was one
sandwich.
of the few things that anybody ever knew about Michelin reviewers, is that, you know, a large percent of the time they go out by themselves.
And that was complete hearsay. I've never heard anyone have a confirmation of like, oh yeah, that's how Michelin does it. I've never heard that in my life. But that was always like the thing, was the guide. And then the only other one I've heard, and I don't know if you've heard this, is that the rumor was, at least in Chicago, when you go, if you're trying to go from 2 to 3, for you to get 3 stars, someone from Michelin in France has to come and give it the blessing to go to 3. It can't be done by the locals.
Okay. So from what I've heard, no decision is based solely on any one group, that it is kind of like people get together from other places. So that's interesting that it has to be the people from France where the Michelin Guide is based.
Again, I don't know if that's true.
Right.
That's just what I've heard. Like,
the Michelin
there's
rumor
nowhere,
mill.
it's not, it's just pure speculation. But because I had a buddy who worked at Grace when they were trying to go from 2 to 3. And he said that was the rumor they had heard, was that someone from France had to come. He said, so anytime someone had a international phone number that tracked to France, or a French sounding name in that year, was like, that table was like PPX crazy. Like if that table was like, oh, I really like these chairs, they should be like, oh, we'll send 2 chairs to your hotel.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, dude, just like crazy shit.
Yeah.
To be like, to like push it over the top. But it's like, again, it's like, it's so cloak and dagger. And like, you know, you don't talk to them except for, you know, when they call. And they call the day and say, hey, congratulations, Chef Adrienne. You know, we've decided you received 2 Michelin stars this year. Right? So you don't know anything.
Before we get into this, because I know we both have strong opinions on this, and so we're going to do this. But most people know this, but a lot of people don't. The Michelin Guide, the dining guide that we're talking about related to restaurants, yes, Michelin sounds familiar because it is the tire company. The Michelin Guide started in like, I don't know, 1900, because it was a little book that they would give you of places to get gas, places to stay, and places to get some food, because they're trying to sell tires and they're trying to get people on the road. More. Exactly. It was called motoring back then. So they're trying to get people to become motorists. And to do that, it's like, this restaurant is excellent. Maybe you should consider driving somewhere to see it. Or if you're in France and you want to drive up to the mountains, okay, on the way, here's this restaurant, which isn't, 1 star is not worth a special trip, but if you're passing it, stop there.
Yes.
2 stars was take a detour from the road and go to that 2 star. 3 stars meant you are building your trip around that restaurant. You're not going to the mountains, you're going to that restaurant.
Which I think, as a scale, you know, you think of a scale that's 120 years old at this point, is a pretty brilliant scale.
Yeah.
If that's the, you know what I mean? If you held truly true to it.
Yeah.
Like if a 1 star was like, this is a really good restaurant, and if you're there, you should go. And 2 stars is like, this is worth the effort of the detour. And 3 stars is like, just go here. Even though it's in the middle of nowhere, or even though it's in a city that's far away from you, like get on a plane and go. That I think is the core of that is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
The ideology behind that, I think, is really, really good. Now the execution, well, shit.
Ding, ding, ding. It doesn't seem to be applied evenly. And then there's also, that's the 1, 2, and 3 star, because Michelin only goes up to 3 stars.
Right.
New York Times goes up to 4. Michelin only goes up to 3 stars. And some people don't realize that also. But the interesting thing is that there's also a Bib Gourmand category. And this is where restaurants that are more casual, you know, I got a Bib Gourmand when we had opened Street Bird, Marcus Samuelson's fast casual restaurant. When I was exec chef, we got a Bib Gourmand there. Very exciting. Huge deal. It was a rotisserie chicken restaurant. You know, you rub them, brine them overnight. You love up on those chickens and you put them on the spit. And then some really well executed sides. Good food for its category. And very well priced. So you could get a meal, you know, get a quarter of rotisserie chicken, 2 sides, a cocktail at the bar. And, you know, you're probably spending 30 something bucks, $40 with a drink. And that used to be the criteria for Bib Gourmand.
It used to be $40, right? For 2 dishes and a glass of wine or dessert.
That's crazy. Where can you get anything for $40 now? As expensive as labor costs and food costs are, I can't find a restaurant where I can get 2 dishes and a beverage for $40.
No, so it's like, I wonder about how that criteria has changed. And I think that's like one of the things with like Bib Gourmand, I think has gotten so muddled because that was such a big thing. You know what I mean? When we opened Girl and the Goat, we got a Bib Gourmand. And I think they might still have one.
Yeah, I think they do.
But, you know, and then when I was at like Urban Belly and Belly Q, we had Bib Gourmands there because it was more casual and approachable. But then it's like, it almost, you know, like now it feels like, like that category is kind of like you can't get that. Like what 2 plates? Like you could get 2 apps.
Right.
And a glass of wine. And even like at a reasonably priced, you know, restaurant. Like, you know, Tuto I just opened is probably my most casual, right? And it's like, and I think the prices are extremely approachable. And it's like you could get a salad, a pasta, and a glass of wine for $40.
Wow.
But you can't get like an entree.
Right. Yeah.
Like I can't sell a piece of fish for $18 unless it's perch.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
It's like a piece of perch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like here's a perch. You know,
no
like,
sauce, no garnish.
Yeah, that's it. All you get is a fried piece of perch. You know what I mean? Like don't even ask for hot sauce. You're paying extra.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm looking it up. It looks like they had gone up to $49 however many years ago. But now reading it, it seems like they kind of took the monetary part away. I'm not seeing that in the current criteria for Bib Gourmand.
But this is always the thing with Michelin, right? The cloak and dagger of it all. I think their biggest, you know, one of their biggest fails in the United States is that like it's so hard here, right? Because we're so big geographically. You know, I mean, this is something that started in France and then Italy and these European countries that are so much smaller. So they would drive all over them, go to these small towns, go to, you know, Lyon, go to, you know, like in Italy, I staged at a 3 Michelin star restaurant that was in a town of 33 people.
Oh my gosh.
Like there's not a hotel in the town. Like you can't even stay there.
Wow.
But it's a 3 Michelin star restaurant that's been there for 100 years and it's in the middle of nowhere. So it's like, you're not going to have that here. Like there's a 3 Michelin star restaurants in like Napa in California, but it's like, it's not like you're going to be in like Southwest Illinois.
Right.
You can't be, you know, 10 minutes outside of Effingham and be like, somebody's going to come down here and be like, this is a 3 Michelin star restaurant that's 20 minutes away from the Kentucky border.
And Michelin doesn't just go all over the country. They're not just seeking out like a far-flung place like in Mississippi or
no, they are not
rural
just
Alabama.
travelers, you know, along this road and deciding like, oh, this is what like we're the Lewis and Clark of culinary.
Right. The tourism board of any city or state has to invite and essentially pay, from what I've heard, for Michelin to enter that market.
Yeah, no, it's all a marketing deal now, right?
Yeah.
So it's like Florida coming in and being like, yo, we'll give you a bag of cash to bring Michelin to this area.
It doesn't guarantee that you're going to get any Michelin stars, but it brings them to your market to review restaurants. I see.
I
See that
mean,
look. Okay.
so you're telling me that. Sure, it doesn't guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine you're Florida and you're like, here's a, whatever, $30 million.
Mm-hmm.
Michelin come to Florida. And they're like, yeah, we came to Florida. It was cool. We had a great time. Weather's awesome. Miami's wild. But like nothing's a Michelin star yet. Thanks for the money. Thanks for the trip.
Right.
Like maybe they're not dropping. I'm not saying they're dropping any threes off the bat because I feel like you saw that happen in a lot of cities. Like I think like DC, when DC opened, didn't have any threes.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And I don't know for the newer cities that have opened. Like I haven't really looked at the Texas ones because I think Dallas is on there now and maybe Austin, but I'm not sure.
Austin. Is it Austin and Houston?
I don't know if Houston's on it, but there's Texas cities on there. So I don't know how many threes are sitting out in the Texas universe.
Right.
So I think like that's the thing you see. It's like, I don't feel like it doesn't guarantee stars. I think it does guarantee stars. And I'm not saying those restaurants are not deserving. I think it just doesn't guarantee. I just think they won't give you necessarily a 3 unless they really feel like there's a 3 there. And I think the threes are the threes. I think they take that very, very seriously. And I would say that to the 2s as well. But I just think like the biggest range of them is the 1s. City to city, especially in the US. And I think country to country, it's very, very different as well. But like in the US, I think like the types of restaurant they look at in different cities is completely different.
And it's so inconsistent.
Yeah, because like I've been to a 1 Michelin star restaurant in San Francisco that was like super casual and it was super good. And I thought it was like, if you're saying truly the lore of it was, right, it's all about the food. That's what they always used to say. It's about the food. It's not about the service. It's not about the restaurant. It's about the food. There's just the food being that good. And if that's true, then this place was a 1 Michelin star restaurant. I didn't have a bad bite. It was awesome. It was delicious. I loved it. But it was also like a casual borderline counter service place in like an almost mall.
Yeah, and that's not Bib Gourmand, but 1 star.
And it was awesome. And it was like, that's fine. If that's a 1 star, that's okay. But I was also like, in Chicago, there's no way that would happen.
Right.
There are no casual 1 stars in Chicago. Pretty much everybody who's a 1 star in Chicago is a fine dining restaurant. You know what I mean? They offer a tasting menu, at least.
Exactly. I don't know. I have a lot of issues and I have a lot of questions with the way Michelin does their thing. And it is so vague. So it's not like I know anybody involved in the process. It's not like I know exactly how they do things. But my issue with Michelin is it seems so Eurocentric. Like, I'm like, are they racist or are they cuisinist? It's because there are Black chefs that have Michelin stars. There's 4 in the US, maybe 10 total in the history of the Michelin Guide around the rest of the world. So
4?
4 in the US. 2 from Chicago, Mariah Russell and Christian Hunter, Charlie Mitchell in New York, and
but both of them, but also,
Gerald
by the way,
Sombright in Orlando.
Both of them are out.
Yeah. And Charlie left the restaurant Clover Hill where he got the Michelin star. He's now the chef at Saga, which already had, was Michelin rated. So he's maintaining those stars. But Gerald Sombright in Orlando also left the restaurant that he was at shortly after getting a star. So
it's like, listen, you can call it cuisinist, fine. However, what the fuck? Like 4?
4.
Because the thing that doesn't make, and like, listen, I get that it's like, there aren't as many, Black chefs running restaurants, you know what I mean? And fine dining, sure, you know what I mean? The numbers are not, numbering there. That's fine, but there's not any.
Right, exactly. And that's
like,
where
and
the
if you look at
disconnect
like
is.
the top, the 50 list, 50
yeah,
best.
Exactly. This is what gets me is I'm not saying give anybody who is not producing excellent food recognition just for the sake of it. However,
I agree.
Michelin, we can't say that it's not an economic driver for restaurant. They help put butts in seats. So by not recognizing certain cuisines, maybe the type of chef, but mainly the cuisine that they're doing, you're saying we're not helping you stay open as a restaurant. We're actively handicapping the coverage that you get, and we're actively saying that we don't believe this type of cuisine is worthy of Michelin rating.
What I've found, at least, and I don't know, you can tell me you feel different, Michelin in the States is a much less bigger deal. You know what I mean? Like if I go, when I was running a Michelin star restaurant, I'm saying just for the average person.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I think they're much less familiar in the States with the guide and what it is.
Right.
Whereas like when I went and staged in Italy and I told people like, oh, I ran a Michelin star restaurant, they're like, oh,
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You guys must be really good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it was a really, really big deal. So I think for the international community, and then you have a city like New York that is massively tourist based, international based, people
Right.
from all over the world. So the guide is
Right.
the epitome for international travel. It's the biggest
Exactly.
thing. So if you're saying 𝗂𝗏𝗏 and 𝗂𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗧
Thank you.
aren't one Michelin star.
Thank you. 𝗂𝗏𝗏𝗏 was the #1 restaurant in New York by the New York Times 2 years in a row. Nothing from Michelin. Dakar in New Orleans, Dakar Nola doing like fine dining technique with Senegalese cuisine. #6 on World's 50. Nothing from Michelin. 𝗂𝗶𝗏𝗏 racking up accolades left and right. Nothing for Michelin. So it's Caribbean, it's West African, and I'm not seeing the recognition for these types of cuisines. It's still, and the Black chefs that did have Michelin stars were not cooking this type of cuisine. They were doing Japanese and Eurocentric more style.
That's true. So you can make a case for cuisinists, but
yeah,
this is what it invoked, which made me think of was like 𝗂𝗏𝗏𝗏 being #1. Remember when Noma was 50 best? They were #1 in the world,
Yeah.
right? And they only had 2 Michelin stars. They didn't have 3.
Right.
And everybody lost their shit because they didn't have 3. This restaurant doesn't even have 1.
Right.
These restaurants don't even have 1. And it's like, how? Like, okay, I
Thank
understand if you're like, this is a 2, not a 3. That gap is a measurable gap. You know what I mean?
Right.
This checks some boxes for somebody that it doesn't check for you. I understand that. It's completely fucking objective.
Right.
But we have a 3-star gap.
Yeah, that's wild. It make it make sense. Make it make sense because it makes no sense to me. We need to find somebody from Michelin to come on the show and clear this up because
but we'd have to like kidnap them. We'd need like, you know what I mean? We need like some, like Romanian gangsters in a white van to like go to France and like find us somebody Taken style and be like, find us an inspector. You know, to like put him in a black hood and ask him questions on the pod.
Oh my God.
But that's the hardest thing. There's no one to ask.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's you're just throwing, it's like you might as well just go yell into the sky and be like, why is it this way? Like there's nothing. There's nothing.
Yeah,
you know
you're never going to get anything.
That's like, I think like the, it's like the allure of Michelin per se, but also like the infuriating thing is like, you don't really need to have accountability if nobody knows who the fuck you are.
Right, exactly.
It's a borderline secret society.
Joe, let's take it to the walk-in. And I think you're up this week for a walk-in confession. It's a new year. Let's get some old stories. Shake it off. Shake off the burden from the previous years. I
don't know if this is much of a confession, but so the first year, I never worked in Michelin star restaurants until I went and worked at 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏. And I started there as a sous chef. And then after a year, I took over as chef. And at the time, we were 1 Michelin star. And talking about cuisinists, the weird thing, 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏 is the only Michelin star Italian restaurant that's ever existed in the city of Chicago.
Wow.
There's not one before. There's not been one since.
Wow.
Right? So it was a big deal. So I take over the first year, and leading up to it, they usually come out in October here. So you're just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, and I'm following big footsteps. Grunberg was there before me. Missy was there before me. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, this has been a crazy year. Like, what if something happens? And the way, as you know, but people might not know, the way you find out if you retain your star is that there's the day and they just start calling people. And they call and say, congratulations, you have retained your Michelin star. The way you find out you did not retain your Michelin star is you just don't get a fucking phone call.
Oh, gosh.
They just ghost you. So it's 2016.
Oh.
And they have to call Tony. So I remember like that morning I get up, and at that time, like what they would do, they would call, and then right after they called the chef, they would tweet out. They would be like, congratulations, Adrienne, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 3 stars. And so, everybody would be following the Michelin Twitter guide. So I get up that morning. I'm up early, and I remember I was home that day for some reason. So I'm just like walking around the apartment. It's like 9 a.m. It's 10 a.m. I'm like texting Tony. I'm like, hey, good morning, chef. Have you heard anything yet? Anything? And he's like, no, I haven't heard anything yet. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, that's all right. It's early. It's early. They probably call the threes first. It's probably in descending order, the threes, then to choose, then the ones. There's a good amount of ones. That's a lot of phone calls to make. Then, they probably talk to them a little bit. They're not rushing them. They're not just like, hey, you got one, click. You know what I mean? 𝗧𝗵𝗲𝗍𝗑.
Like, she really thought I was cute. She's going to call. She's going to call. She liked me.
So now it's like noon. I'm like literally, I remember I was in my old apartment. I am pacing. I am just pacing through the place, back and forth, back and forth. And I'm like just like shaking my head and walking through the apartment. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And like, I'm texting Tony. I'm like, I finally call him. I'm like, chef, what's going on? Have you heard anything? He's like, I haven't heard anything. He's like, it's fine, Joe. Don't worry about it. Like, blah, blah, blah. It's like, this is all I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I just like, I'm going on the porch. I'm like chain smoking cigarettes. I'm like losing my mind. Finally, it's 1 o'clock. It's 1 in the afternoon. We're ready in the afternoon. I'm checking Twitter. There's nothing. Nothing's on Twitter. God. They haven't announced anything. So I'm like, all right, I haven't seen anybody come out. So I haven't heard anything from anybody. Nobody said I haven't seen any chefs post anything. So I'm like, what is going on? This is so weird. God. So finally, I just get in the car. I'm like, I just need to leave. So I just started driving. I was just driving. I just took a left on California and started driving north. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And it was finally fucking 2:30 in the afternoon. Michelin tweets out. It was 2016 in October. So you weren't living in Chicago at the time, Adrienne, but you might not remember what was going on is the stupid fucking Cubs were making a World Series run. And the night before, the Cubs game went into extra innings, went late, went to 1:30 in the morning. So the Michelin Guide of Chicago tweets out, late Cubs game last night. So we're just getting around to start making phone calls.
No. Are you kidding me? The Michelin Guide was late because of the Cubs game the night before?
So I am like, you have got to be fucking shitty.
Oh, you've had me ready to vomit in tension and anger.
Oh my God.
Because you had a bender at the Cubs game?
Right. I'm driving around in circles thinking if they don't call, I'm just going to keep driving forever to the ocean.
That's a career ender if you lose it.
And then so finally 3 o'clock, Tony calls me. I remember I'm in the car. I pull the car over the side of the road. I'm like, chef. He's like, congratulations, chef. He's like, you have retained your 1 star. And I was like, I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Jeez.
I was like, holy shit. And I remember I called Brian, who was my my number 2 at the time. And I was like, dude, we did it. We're good.
That's awesome.
Call all the cooks, call everybody. I was like, we're going to Stella's tonight. I was like, we're burning it down. But yeah, it was the worst feeling. It was the worst feeling. It was just
I can't even imagine how stressful that had to be.
Oh man. I never want to feel that way again. In the years after, I felt better about it and I felt more confident in what we were doing, but it was the first year and I didn't know. And, they called us so late and I just, you know what I mean? This was my first time ever as a chef de cuisine.
Right.
That's
a lot of pressure.
I was terrified. But yeah, so end of the day, kept a star. And that was my first baptism by fire in the Michelin age.
That's a huge deal, Joe, and you did it. Way to go.
Don't need to do that anytime again soon.
No. That's a wrap for this week of The Chef's Cut. Be sure to subscribe wherever you're listening, especially if you're watching us on YouTube, where you can find full-length video of every episode of the show. And be sure to follow us at Chef's Cut Pod on IG. On behalf of Joe Flam, I'm Adrienne 𝗠𝗶𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗍, and this has been The Chef's Cut, Life Beyond the Pass.